Jill, this has been one of the core questions, core tensions of this, right? The relationship between the committee and DOJ. The committee chair, Benny Thompson, says the Justice Department is going to get access to their findings when the public does. I wonder what you make of that.
I'm sorry that they didn't have it sooner so that we could see a quicker turnaround of action based on the facts. But I am very relieved that the entire transcripts and all of the evidence that have been accumulated will be turned over to the Department of Justice and to the American public. They said they are making it public. That, to me, is an important factor. I don't think it matters whether they make any referrals to the Department of Justice or to anywhere else, because once the evidence is there, that is the referral. That is the demand that action be taken based on the facts and the evidence. And I trust the Department of Justice to take those facts, to compare them to the laws and what the elements of each crime are, and to take action based on that. So I wouldn't be so concerned about that. I want to make sure that the report, though, includes not just the crimes by Donald Trump, but that it looks at things like, what was the failure at the Secret Service? What was the failure at the FBI? What was the failure at the Capitol Police?
Things that are institutional, things that could actually arguably not just have accountability, but could be fixed structurally.
Yes, and we need to have proposals for new legislation. What needs to be fixed to prevent this from happening again? The Electoral Count Act has perhaps maybe a slight gap in it that could allow this crazy theory that Eastman was pushing. And that needs to be fixed. We can't have anybody overturning the will of the people who vote. So those things need to be fixed. The emoluments clause needs to be fixed. Is there something at Secret Service that needs to be fixed? Those are the important things. They need to make recommendations on laws that should be changed. That would be an important part of it. And they need to define January 6th as not just the violence of January 6th, but of all the other crimes that had to do with overturning the election, the fake electors, the call into Georgia, the pressure on Mike Pence, the pressure on state legislatures. Those are all things that need to be included to make a public record that will be something for history to study, for future Congresses to act on, in order to make this a safer place for democracy to continue to thrive.